yes, green. This one for the money.
Most niggas hating, they don't get nowhere. How you say you love me, but you never dare. Tryna find somebody real, that shit kinda rare. I don't need nobody else telling me something else. I see trade, they trade, and I said okay then. Had to get back to this money shit, cause that's the basics. Don't be reaching for my money, you get hit with Drake quick. Leave a pussy nigga dead right there on the pavement.
Alright, y'all. So, first of all, let me make sure y'all can hear me. Y'all should be able to hear me pretty good. Make sure that's not too high. Yeah, we should be good. If it's too loud, we can adjust it. But I lost all the accounts. Like, I make sure the phone is recording too. I lost all the accounts. And then look, it's not easy coming on this camera and saying something to people that has to do with losing. But then again, what's so bad about it? What is so bad about losing? You would never, like, if I'm being honest, anybody just putting out wins and wins and wins and wins. Yeah, they have to promote their brand, their business. Obviously, they know the ins and outs of how people think and what they want. They think of for others. But you got to think for yourself, too. Like, I do know what comes with covering up an image. You feel me? I do know what comes up with covering up things that you just don't want people to see. It eventually comes to light. And it ain't no use of it. I mean, people need to learn to have humility, and I believe that will allow them to be themselves more. But if people decide to want to cover up a lot, they're going to focus on being humiliated, and they're not going to either come outside or they're not going to really show. It's just a lot of fakeness out there. And the first thing I want people to understand is I'm going to always keep it real with y'all. I got to. It's the only way to teach y'all. It's the only way to help y'all understand how I trade. So I just wanted to really come on here and go over not just my losses, but what I need to stick to focusing on, in my opinion. All right. So I did struggle this week with the accounts that I lost, because let me just say this. I had 19 funded accounts. I took a 20K payout and went all in on funded accounts. You feel me? Paid all my priorities, etc. But that 20K put me in a position to really not have to worry. You get me? But it was just the adjusting and like transitioning into managing all those accounts that I fucking overthought. I overthought the whole thing, bro. I was not supposed to really overthink it that bad. Like, when I was managing the 5 accounts for Top Step, the funded accounts, I wasn't looking at all 5. I was looking at one account. The moment I started looking at all 19 accounts, I started overthinking. I wasn't risking properly. All the rules different. It was just like, oh, God damn it. I started overcomplicating trading again. And that was with my mind first. It wasn't even with my decisions. It was with the way I was thinking. It was overcomplicated, and I couldn't really like breathe, bro. I couldn't think. I couldn't fucking you get me? But I want to come into this upcoming year 2026 on the right note of knowing like I don't have nothing to worry about. I don't have anything to really overthink. And I'm okay with losing, bro. It's the best part of learning. It's where the oohs and the ahs, like, oh, it's where that part comes in. And if you're not experiencing that, you're not getting anywhere, because you don't accept your losses. I accept all of them, bro. You got to learn to. It's hard because you feel like you're going against your own self, but you are. That's the whole idea. You're going against yourself, bro. So you have to get an understanding that when you're on a losing streak, like right now, I'm on a losing streak, but that was from one day. I let one day of decisions dictate my whole account. And That's okay, because it wasn't the same reason for the last time I let that one day dictate, or dictate like the one. We got to understand this. We're trading all year long, and we're learning about ourselves all year long. So when you're experiencing something that you've been through, why not learn from it? You're experiencing it. It's obviously a part of your life. Like, why not learn from it? It's the same thing as going around somebody. They had a gun. They decided to rob somebody without you knowing. You gonna say, am I gonna go around that person again? Or I'm gonna wait for it to happen again? You're gonna learn from that experience. But when it comes to your own decisions and your own experience, people decide to just let it repeat and just cycle and cycle, and it's just like they blame and they point fingers, and it's just like, bro, I'm a quarterback. I come from a quarterback tradition or dynamic of how I approach life. So either way, I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm going to be the person that everybody looks at and be like, it's his fault. But when everything's going right, it's, oh my gosh, him. So it comes with it. You feel me? It comes with it. That's the part where me teaching, I find love in it. I find love in teaching people, because it's like I'm still leading and I'm doing it the right way. I'm not just doing it for money. Like, my money's gonna come. Like, I know how to make money. Right now I'm experiencing. I'm doing something that a lot of people wish they could do. Like, we all losing, but it's the journey. It's the opportunity. You feel me? The opportunity that doesn't come around a lot, bro, that a lot of people don't get. So I live in a mindset of take the risk or lose the chance. Like, the chances, the opportunities is the money. The journey is the money. That's the feeling that people missing out on, that they don't need money to experience. That people gonna end up being like, damn, now that I got the money, what is it for? It was for the journey. It was for you to keep creating opportunities for yourself. So that's what I did with my money. I created more opportunities for myself. I didn't just wait for one. And yeah, I lost according to like the definitions of other people's mindset. But in my world, I learned a lesson. And now I'm in my patient time. Now I'm in my, okay, let's sit back and reflect. And you can't do that without accepting your losses, bro. So start to learn to accept your losses. And you're going to see that we in the industry of money going to keep coming and flowing. But we want to get closer to actually mastering this thing and really like understanding the ins and outs of day trading. It'll help you with life too. It'll help you with any type of business. Like, I know everything that I'm learning within day trading is going to apply to whatever I'm going to do in my future that isn't going to have to do with day trading. So you got to appreciate the little losses, the big losses, the setbacks, not just when you make it, not just when it works. What if everybody just made it work? What would we appreciate? Not a goddamn thing. Wouldn't even appreciate each other just for being like, oh, you do it too? Like, for some reason, it's not normalized to just appreciate being alive, just being able to do it. People's mindset be based off of how they were raised or what they seen. Learn to be open-minded. Learn to look at it from a different perception. And you will get way further, and you'll be able to feel a little bit different in life. And it won't just be about trying to make money, bro. That's how I made this shit work. That's how I got this far. That's how I'm still able to do it and bounce back. Because I wasn't just looking at the money. I find joy in trying. I find joy in figuring this thing out. But off with the lecture. Let's keep this thing short and nice for just what I was looking for this week. Obviously, I would know I was looking for buys based off of higher time frame confluence or my daily time frame. We already see lows, we see highs, and when it comes to these highs, basically coming into this downtrend, we can't go back up until we sweep out the last lows from this liquidity run. All right, this is a liquidity run because the last highs got broke and we never came back until here. But people that was buying here are early buyers, and we made these equal lows. After we made these equal lows, swept out highs internally to continue down, but we swept out external lows. This is what I call an external low. It's the last low from the external high, and it's able to be identified and basically, what's the right word to say? You're able to identify and basically label your market structure easier if you just look at highs and lows. It's the same thing when you're on a lower time frame, highs and lows. But there's a way to track when there's going to be a high and when there's going to be a low way easier than just looking at double tops and head and shoulders. And it's just like, bro, we got all these candles from this area to this area. You can see that there was support and there was resistance. Okay, boom. When it comes to support being made in here, everybody that's being basically told to buy, they're not going to lose if they keep holding, for sure. That's why you see, like, when people invest, they say, okay, we're going to keep holding. Yeah, because they don't look at it from a technical standpoint that they're about to be at support. And once we start to make support and sweep out lows, they're probably in a stock that has potential to go higher, which is like a NASDAQ, an index, you feel me? Just look at this as Tesla, and we're at $200 on Tesla. Or we're at $250 on Tesla and the person decides to buy. Okay, when they decide to buy, they might have got in too early. They might have got in like September, but Tesla isn't going to really buy until like December, right? When their third quarter earning reports come out. Boom. Once we get into a position of Tesla, as investors, we're thinking we'll let this shit sit. We got to go to work. We're just investing. We're not day traders. As a day trader, you have to look at it from this standpoint that we have to look at the market every single day. All right. And looking at the market every single day, we look at it from a different approach. We're trying to make money every single day. So yes, these things matter internally and not just the timing or not just the stock itself or not just the instrument itself. It could be Forex. It could be crypto. You need to understand that it's a different approach than just putting money in as an investor. You feel me? So as a day trader, we have to know when it's going to buy and when it's going to sell. But it's hard because we're looking at it every single day and we're confusing ourselves. But we're closer than we started. Once you get into it, you get closer and closer and closer to seeing. But the real way that I learned of like understanding is waiting. I was always entering trades where I'll get in, right? Like I'm an investor and think that I'm right as a day trader that it's going to happen on this day. But then if I was an investor or we could say swing trader, right? I will be willing to put my stop losses under here, but I'm not an investor. I'm not a swing trader. I'm putting my stop losses short. So I started learning like I'm steadily getting faked out. Because look, I know from experience that price has to go back up. But as a day trader, we're letting days go by and days go by of these losing streaks. And we'll end up seeing that the same thing we were trying to buy a day or two ago or a week or two ago ended up going into buys, but at a specific area and ended up making everything feel like we were right about everything. You feel me? We got the same approach, all of that. So I started to kind of just dissect that understanding of like, so why am I steadily losing then if I know when I'm supposed to win? And it started to make sense that price and the way it moves, you can't stop it from moving. You can't stop it from moving unless it's literally like your days off. But you can stop it from fucking you up by waiting and looking at how does price react. So what I read now only is not no indicators, not no anything. It's just price action. How is price reacting? How is these candlesticks reacting? Not as an investor, but as a day trader. And I'm looking at every day because I have to understand that not every day is going to be a buy and not every day is going to be a sell. But I do know that as a day trader now, understand this. The only people that move the markets are the banks, the hedge funds, the institutions, the people that got all the big money. Those are the only people that move the markets. So when we're thinking as retail traders that when we get in, they give us a mindset of we can move the markets, we can control the markets. But no, we can't control the markets. We can control the amount that we risk, the amount that we take out, the amount that we say, okay, we done. But we can't control where price goes next. And that's why they think that it's a gamble. That's why people think that it's just a gamble. But it's a gamble from the information that you don't know. That's the only reason it's a gamble. It's a gamble from the mindset that you were taught that a lot of people are. It's like a 99% thing. Yes, it's a 99% gamble to most people. But to the 1%, no, it's not a fucking gamble. It's a fucking game that you need to learn how to play. It is a game that I think of it as a kid. Like I'm still being a kid with this. I'm not just being an adult. I'm not just putting all my stress and all my problems onto this shit. I'm being a kid as in I have the time. I have the ability to do this. I'm believing. But I'm also knowing that I'm being an adult with knowing that it doesn't happen overnight and that I can't just think because I have money that I can make all the money in the world. No, money is just an illusion, bro. It's a tool. We're supposed to try to get better at something. And day trading, you can get better at. But it comes with a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about in this video. A lot. It's not just about your losses. It's not just about your wins. It's about changing your mindset. It's about changing how you're looking at the markets. And I need to even as I'm talking right now, I'm going to start changing my mindset even more. Why? Because I can't be not having confidence in my trades that I'm taking, knowing that I'm trying to get to a new level. So when it comes to knowing that something works, stop sabotaging, stop being delusional, Tifo. Stop sabotaging and stop being delusional, as in like projecting fears on this is not the time to start believing that it doesn't work. Like, that's what I need to start telling myself. Like, I've been putting in so much fucking work. And the time that I start believing that it doesn't work is when I'm literally like, oh, I'm doing more. Shut, bro, this shit the same thing. And I got to be able to be the proof and the pudding that it's the same thing as me risking $100. Same thing as me risking $1,000. So when you're looking for your trades, you should be getting in at the same entries as we go on, days on forward. And days onward, we should be looking at the same entries. So the way that I find my same entries, external structure is where these blue circles are at, right? Anything that is internal, yellow, I have to understand that I need to make sure that I'm looking at what's happening each day. That's when it becomes more advanced and technical, right? But I know that my guaranteed areas are where my blue areas are. I know that I'm buying here. We made a new high. This is our last low. We're going to sweep here. What a sweep looks like on the time frame that you need to look on is I call a fake out. So a sweep is just basically, in other words, a fake out, where the candles look like they're going to continue one way, but they end up not. On a higher time frame, it didn't show much, but on the lower time frame, you can see that, okay, we're selling. And let me just show y'all this. As we're selling, you have to understand that, yes, on a higher time frame, let's go to our 4 hour. It looks like we're just selling off a lot. I'll get this as a pointer. It looks like we're selling off a lot, right? This whole time, we're just selling off. But I told you, the last low, which is over here, this is where I know that for sure. Once we sweep here, we have to go back up to the last high. And nobody teaches it as simple as this. But it's kind of just as easy as that. That's how the banks have to think. You think the banks are thinking, oh, up, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. No. The banks are buying. And as they're buying, they have to obviously scale in. So they have to, they have to take profit. They have to scale back in. Take profit, scale back in. Nobody else is moving the markets. They're just giving the retail traders, us, people like us that just could be behind their computers or trade from their phone. They're giving us the opportunity to just, do the same thing as them. I mean, I believe they have no choice, because in order for them to have the amount of money for them to even complete their transaction. So just think about it. If they put in $1 million here and they take out profit, that profit is probably $10 million, right? But who's going to give them the where's the liquidity going to come from? The liquidity has to come from the people that they give events and they give news articles and they give different economic just events out that they put out there, and they basically create volatility. They create buyers, they create sellers. They give people like us opportunity to just say, okay, we want to buy this stock, or we want to sell this stock, or we should get out, we should buy. But it's really at prices and areas that they're kind of not communicating about that what's really going to happen. You feel me? They're not communicating. They're just creating enough events for them. They're only really thinking about themselves. Nobody looks at it like this, but we're really puppets. Like, without us, these markets wouldn't move neither, because they wouldn't be able to complete their transactions. But at the same time, it probably just means that the market wouldn't be as big. Now that the market is getting so many different players in, the market is getting bigger. Why? There's going to keep being reasons and reasons on top of reasons. But all I'm really trying to put together is the understanding of why the markets move the way they move, who are moving the markets, and where we can kind of get in and create an opportunity for ourselves. And the only time that is the greatest time to create opportunities for yourselves, if you're a new trader, is at the external low or the external high. Now, when it comes to the external highs, I don't like selling. So I am literally a buyer. Once we get up here, I'm going to look at price action to see if it's either going to be a break of structure and a retest to our internal low to continue up, or we're going to make a liquidity run, fall back lower, and that's going to really, I'm going to anticipate that we're going to drop hard from some type of news, some type of events. But for right now, we're still climbing up. Why? Because we've swept the last lows. Now imagine we try to get in over here, right? Or we try to get in right here. Notice how price did go up and then it kept going down. This is where I have learned within my trading career that we are right about direction, that it wants to go up, that it wants to go up, that it wants to go up. But there's stages in your trading career that you have to understand that if you're not there yet, you're just not there. And it's not that you're wrong. It's just that you're not satisfied enough. So making a trade from here to here is great. Making a trade from here to here is great. But making a trade from here and then holding all the way to the top, not saying anybody is going to, but I'm sure somebody is going to try to take advantage of this. And it doesn't matter if you're an investor or a swing trader. Like, this works with everything. But I'm going to take advantage of this. It's all about, do you know what you're doing? It's not about just making money. Do you know what you're doing? People have to make that matter. Not just, oh, how do I make money? How do I make... No, do you know what you're doing? All right? And these are my greatest entries to tell you to buy. Yes, these are great entries to buy. But you have to know what you're doing. You have to know when to get out. Here, you have to know where to scale in. Because we're never going to come back here. We're never. And even if we did, we shouldn't sweep the lows. And even if we did, once in a 100th chances that it comes back. But it's not hard to understand that people are putting out there how to make money, but not teaching really how to keep it, how to manage it, how to become more disciplined within it. And it's not saying that they know how to say it word for word, but just telling you, like, there's stages to this shit, bro. There's really stages to this day trading shit that you're going to go through. The stage that I'm in is that believing that, okay, I figured it out. I'm at that stage. I've already seen the money. I'm doing shit people that got the money not even doing. And I'm looking at it from a different standpoint. So I think I might be the first person that's really going to approach it the way that I'm approaching it. And it might look weird for right now, but these videos a year or two or a month from now, man, bruh, it's going to make so much sense. So to finish off this video, I want to bring up the sessions of this week, right? I know that I want to continue buying. I did understand that it was going to be choppy because we got interest rates coming out next week. But at the same time, it wasn't going to be hard to approach and understand where the market wants to go. So I just stuck to that, all right? My hardest part, I didn't lose a trade based off of me being wrong. I didn't lose my accounts based off of me being wrong. I lost my accounts based off of me not having confidence and me not seizing my opportunity. And then building that up, building that cycle up, and it created a day, which was Friday, to where I'm out of like energy mentally. Like, I have nothing in me to really like go, because I stressed myself out from not receiving what I wanted to be satisfied with. And I knew the day was going to come that all of them was going to get busted. Like, all of them was going to fail. I was 2 days away from a payout. But my approach, I slowed down the way that I did it, or I was going too fast with the way that I did it, and I got mixed up. You feel me? I don't know. It was definitely very hard to really see that shit happen. But what I mean by I didn't lose a trade, that I was wrong about. I lost a trade that I was right about. It means that I was getting in too early again. I went back to my old bad habits. I know me. So let's just look at it like this. We're on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Boom, the new week, Friday coming up. This is my 4 hour. The way that I read it is I got liquidity resting up at the top. That's where that red line is. Liquidity's resting up there from these highs. And basically people are selling here. People are selling here based off of what they've seen before, right? But we've already swept low, so there should be no more sellers. When it comes to how banks are thinking, they now have a key area that they could buy from. But in order for us to buy from here, we have to have timing and we have to have all areas, well, the right areas of liquidity swept. So let's go to the 4 hour again. Let's make sure. Let's go. This is where I was having a hard time marking off my levels because I wasn't having a lot of confidence, but just from there to there, boom. And then another level I will put would be wherever we broke the last highs, right there. Boom. Turn my sessions on. Coming into Sunday. This is Monday. Okay, turn my hourly on. We already swept those lows. Or we already rejected this key area. And we swept our last highs, our last lows. We want to see. This is what we got to see. It's 6 a.m. Okay, 7. Okay, go to the 15 minute. 7:30, 5 minute. 7:50. Okay, boom. I will enter a trade. I will enter a trade if we're to be able to hold these lows right here. Because we still have to sweep out these highs. Let's see what we do. Let's turn the sessions off and let it rock. And it took off without me. So Monday definitely was a hard day. I could have sworn I was probably, I think I traded gold maybe, but I'm not gonna go to gold. Let's just go. We didn't have a trade for Monday, but we did look like we sold. This is Tuesday. Tuesday, 15 minute, we broke highs. Can't trade yet. 1, 2. Okay, go to my 5 minute. Just based off of how I'm looking at the markets right now, after we sweep these lows, we should buy. But based off of that, we will have to come 15 minute. We will have to come all the way down here. Boom. You see how I did sweep those lows and then continue? That wasn't the trade. But I did understand that I wanted to buy from here or whatever. I was right. Ended up not taking that trade though. All right. Boom. After we swept those lows and bought, I started looking at trading as in I missed out an opportunity. That was my first opportunity. I remember that. Even that trade right there, if I would have took it, I would have been straight. I would have been overly straight. But I didn't take it. And that's on me. Boom. When it comes to these lows right here, I'm looking at it from this standpoint, 15 minute. We did sweep out these lows. So in order for us to actually come back and buy, we have to take out this blue line. So we're going to keep selling. We should. Nope, we kept buying. But swept those lows. So even right now, I'm not even having confidence with that. Go back to the hourly. Our last high was right here. Our last low was right here. Go to our 15-minute. What did it do? Swept it, came back and climbed. So even right there, you were right about your trade. Why wouldn't you take it? Because you're still looking for other shit. Stop looking for other shit. Even right here. Told myself I only need 100 points. Really only 75. Like, I had 19 accounts, 75 points, one contract, 1,500. Shit's dumb. But it's a part of the game. And I gained a lot of experience from it. I shouldn't be looking at multiple accounts. I should just be looking at one. Was holding. I think I took this buy. Yeah, I did take this fucking buy. I took this buy. We got this fucking buy on fucking recording. If I'm not mistaken. I took this damn buy. That's crazy, y'all, as I'm even recording. I took this damn buy. And I got out too early. Not too early, but I got out. It kept going. But it was with one contract to where I had to make 9,000 back. I had to make $400 back. Then I ended up making like 1,000. It's like 1,500. I took out like right here, but I could have kept holding easily. Easily. I just didn't trust my I didn't trust my analysis. But why would I have to keep holding? Why would I keep holding that trade? I see. I see why I would keep holding. That's another reason to look at it. These are our last highs, right? But holding it back up there wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if it's sweeping out lows. And that's okay, boom. Boom. Risking $1,000. Last of the lows. One rejection. You were just expecting this candle to reject. That's what it is. But you did 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 2. And that's where you put your stop loss. And then you anticipate for it to hold back above there, and that's why you took out. It's 120 some points just from holding up there. Just from holding right here was 100 points. But you got to be precise with these areas, and you got to wait. It's all about waiting, and when you wait, you got to trust it. That's why you wish you had the comfortability to learn that shit, but you can't just always wish for comfortability. You got to be willing to go through it and keep learning and trusting it. You shouldn't need comfortability to trust what you believe in. You should not need comfortability to trust in what you believe in. But okay, let's go on to the next day. 4 hour. Could delete this. Could delete that. This is all internal structure. I'm still looking for buys. All because we have to keep buying as we're sweeping out lows and making new highs. So we made a new high. Okay. Okay, that was Wednesday. Wednesday, what happened Wednesday? It was weird. Consolidating. Fucking fucktard. I don't know. But let's go into Thursday. I don't remember Thursday, but let's act like we do. Thursday, we swept out any lows. Nope, we have lows right here. We also swept out lows Tuesday. Once we came up here, we swept out highs, came back low again. Never made a new low though. Swept out highs again, came back low, swept out highs again. It makes me think that it's not ready to sell yet. It can't, because it's playing above this key level and it's not hitting this key level. We have to keep sweeping out lows and then buying. I didn't have confidence here, but the last lows are right here. Let's make that purple. Turn the sessions off. Turn the 5-minute on. We're showing support right here. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh yeah, the next candle that comes back under there is buys. So let's go to 1 minute because we're showing support. We got 1 support, 2 support, right? Meaning that we're not breaking. So just from here to here, that's letting me know, and I don't even use boxes like this. That's letting me know I want to buy. So as soon as we come under there, we have to buy back above. Boom. Ah, that's a buy to me. That's a buy to me, but not yet. See, I didn't fucking trust myself, y'all. Okay, we could trust ourselves once we come back in there. Okay, that's 2 support candles. Let's put our stop loss under here. That's a conservative entry. We're gonna hold this bitch all the way back up just based off of we haven't swept out them highs. Yeah. Oh my goodness, and I lost. See? I knew it had to come back. Didn't I say that? I literally said it had to come back again. Or come back under here one more time. And then it took off. It's 2 different things about my strategy that I have to understand, that I know where it's gonna buy. Okay, maybe it's my entry. Okay, I need to wait for it. If it doesn't happen, don't do it. This is one way it tapped. Maybe break your structure. Okay, that means I'm right about, that's my indication. This is my entry. Go to your higher time frame, see how that looks. Yeah, go trading view. We still got session highs. Okay. Yeah, we gotta buy. But we did take out all them highs. 118. That's great buys. But we still have to go. And look, it even came deeper. Crazy. Still have to go higher though, no? But that's it for the day. For Thursday, great. I think I made all my money back on that day too. Not waiting for my entry. Kept buying in the afternoon. This is what I would remember for a swing trade, but even as a swing trade, holding right here for an extra 80 points. Fuck that 80 points. Look at the 120. You catch 80 points again. Even holding right here would have been good money. Another 80 points. That's why I'm telling myself I'm about to start targeting previous highs. And that's it. If we don't look like we're gonna buy all the way back up, 30-minute, hourly, because we're consolidating. Swept out lows, continued up. Yeah, I don't know. It don't look like it would have came all the way up here. It had potential though. It did, but just not in the session. So I would have took out. Let's go into Friday. Friday. Ooh. 15-minute. 5-minute. I would say we already swept that. 15-minute. indicated. Right here. Last highs. Okay, we still not entering, which is good. One, boom. We built liquidity up. I'm buying still. Just gotta wait. This time I'm really waiting. Okay, that's 1, 2. Yeah, I'm definitely buying. Sweep that low. Sweep that low. You still didn't sweep. Let's go to the 5-minute. Come back over here. All right, you swept it. Nah, man. Well, damn, Friday was crazy. It was. You see how I lost? Well, that was the end of the week. And I traded NAS, but I also was trading, I was trading it on Robinhood, and I was just doing a lot, y'all. Like I said, I was moving too fast doing what I do. I'm gonna slow this shit down and start waiting. But even as I'm back testing, everything looks like I know what I'm doing. It was my my confidence and just overwhelming myself. That was our last low. We took off, made a higher low, made a new extension. We swept that low perfectly. Even right here, I should have been telling myself to enter. To where the reason I'll be able to enter here is because we never broke this low. We got liquidity resting over here. Boom. Yep, we got liquidity resting right here. Swept that high, made a new low. Even that's 2,400. Like, yeah, I need to trust myself. Trust myself, trust myself. 2,400, 5 trades, 10K. So, and then even on 5 accounts, 10K, 2,400. Make 5K, it's 25,000. And that's off of 2 trades. Make 10K on each. Yeah, I need to trust myself. I can make 10K on all 20 accounts, that's 200K. I gotta trust myself and I gotta wait for my entries. And I gotta stop acting like they not real. And then when it's selling, when we sweep all highs, we're not worried about that right now, but at the same time, even when it's selling, making new lows. We bought from here because we wasn't ready to sell yet. Made a new high, boom. Came over here, swept those highs. I made an equal high or equal low. Swept the highs. Swept the highs. Whatever. Came back. Yeah, that shit would have been weird to me. I would have never been. Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, we're selling for sure. I just gotta know how to change my mindset from buys to sales. This is definitely sales. Boom. It came all the way back. Sessions off. 5 minute. $7 a.m., 7:10, 7:15. So we sold 6:30, came back 7:15. Yeah, that makes sense. Everything looking like a sale. And we know that because we got to approach this low. Oh my goodness, when it sells hard. Whew. What about on a 1 minute? What does that look like? You would think that that's no, because it never gave us a chance to pull it back. It just started going up. So when it starts to go up like that, you need to know the difference of it consolidating. That consolidated and broke. That came back, retested the last highs. Excuse me. It's just like what we were just looking for with buys. Came back, swept the lows, never came to the all-time lows, and kept going. Rejection. Right here. Turn this upside down. Now let's see. Yeah, you might as well call that a touch. 1, 2, 3. Main support. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. The only way I'm gonna be able to explain this to people is if I trust it way more. Fuck the money. Just trusting it because I'm sticking to it. That's what's gonna help me hold the trades and keep making more. We broke. That was the last low in the lower time frame. Look at that. Right there. Right over here. Perfect. Swept those lows, made a new high. Swept. Never swept. They just made a new high. This is our last highs. These are our last lows. It made its choice on what low it wanted to come back to, which makes sense. Watching our master how to sell and buy. It's over with. So sell off. Respucia. Took out those last lows. We should have known we were going to break out these highs. This is just flipped though. Kept buying. We bought equal highs. Had to sweep out the lows.
Boom. Okay, bet. External structure. Okay, bet. External low, external high. Swept out that low, came all the way back over here to this high. It wasn't done yet, because we knew that we had to come over here. Boom. Then we swept out the last low. At least on a higher time frame. We made structures, swept, closed back above, came all the way back over here. Boom. Swept. Never really broke these lows. Swept over here, I bet. Swept the highs. That was an indication that it wanted to change. We swept here. We had to come back to these lows. We still wasn't done yet. Swept those highs. And boom. Okay, so now let me change it. Indicated. Came back to the last lows or last highs. Or the last 4-hour area. Boom. Close back below, close back above. Kept going. Still wasn't done yet. Have to close back under, you buy on this day. Why would you buy? Because that's what it did. It swept. Swept under there. Okay, I need to know what this looks like. Why would I buy here? You just gotta read price action. In order for us to sell, 1, 2, 3, should have known that we're gonna automatically come back over here. But in order for us to sell, we have to come back to the last highs, which would have been the last lows. Boom, it swept. Indicated, closed back under, but it still wasn't ready. Boom, boom, now that's ready. Then from there, coming back lower. Ooh. Okay, boom. Shat. I need a live account. 40K. $36K. 20 or 18K. Like, oh my goodness. 20 accounts, 18. Sheesh. I can't even pull that out. Yeah, I need to be able to pull that out. $90K. Build some buffer room. What's that? 2 contracts. Yeah, that ain't shit. There's 50 points. Easy. That ain't nothing. I need to be conservative. As they drop back below, that's when I need to get in. Built up liquidity over here. Swapped out the highs. Need to see liquidity built. Need to see a higher low without a sweep. That's going to be the sweep. You close back below. And that's where I'm supposed to get in at. I just kept selling. $15K. Just gotta be able to trust it. I don't like losing, so that's why I should be able to risk 80. 4 contracts times that by 40. I should be able to risk good cheese. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to make my day. I'm gonna do that shit, but next week we'll get some more funded accounts. We're gonna start this thing over, and I'm gonna actually start recording what I'm doing. I got a lot of good videos that I could post, but I just been putting it in my course, you feel me, just for extra content. But if you're going through a part of your journey where it's just hard to catch a streak, go off of what you've learned before, or go off of where you're losing at, and start over. How can I say that even better? If you're struggling to catch a streak and really just get consistent again, slow down and understand that you already know how to win. You just don't know why you won. Start focusing on why something is happening. That's why I said at the beginning of the video, it's not about how to make money. I want to know why the fuck I lost, why I won. And that's going to help me take the chance that I want to take in the future, which is the freedom chance. Freedom chance, and in other words, risking 100K on a trade. It's only going to come from having the confidence from risking $1,000 on this same trade. You feel me? So find the trade, find a reason, find why you're losing, find why you're winning, and go over that. That's your plan. That's your strategy. That's the buys that you make for tomorrow. And if you don't know how to do none of this, bro, go get my course, bro, because I keep it real and I don't sugarcoat nothing, and I actually know what I'm doing. But I'm also willing to tell y'all like I lose too. So if you want to know how to bounce back from a person that's willing to relate to you as a loser, not just as a winner, lock in with me. Other than that, I'm out.
I see trade, they trade, and I said okay then. Had to get back to this money shit, cause that's the basics. Don't be reaching for my money, you get hit with Drake quick. Leave a pussy nigga dead right there on the pavement.